What's up, YouTube? Night Edge here again. Got another little quick review for you of a Spyderco. Haven't reviewed one of those in a while. I think I burned through my whole collection. Didn't save any for later, I guess. But I do have a couple other Spydercos that I need to kind of get to reviewing. But this one was sent to me by Mr. Eddie _411 on Instagram. Go give him a follow. Thanks to people like him and viewers like him, I get to check out such really super nice, interesting knives. So big shout out to Mr. Eddie for making this review possible. If you're not already and you're interested in supporting the channel, I do have a Patreon down below. It's in the link down there. I got tiers, I think, going from $2.99 maybe to all the way up to whatever a month. All the tiers are the same. I do try to do a little bit of extra on Patreon. So if you're interested in that, please go check it out. And also like and subscribe to the channel would also help a lot. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into it. This is a Spyderco Endura 4. Not a normal one. This one is in titanium and VG10 Damascus, DPS 15 Damascus, as a matter of fact, is what it says on there. We're going to go into that here in a minute. Let me go ahead and get the size comparisons and all the specs kind of out of the way. So if you look at it from the tip of the blade all the way to the end of the handle, the Endura is the largest in the line of the Delica, Endella, and Endura. You're looking at 8 3/4 inches all overall length. If you go from the tip of the blade right to where the handle meets up with the blade right there, you're looking right at 3 7/8 of an inch overall length of the blade, and the cutting edge of the blade is right at 3.5. So definitely what I would call, without a doubt, a full-size knife. And zero these things out. Check the blade stock thickness, thickest part of the spine. You're looking at 109 thousandths. Behind the edge, right at 25 thousandths. So full flat grind on this. Not an especially thin edge, but it is a very slicey knife. Let's check the handle thickness. And 0.33 of an inch, so really super thin handle, especially for being a titanium knife. Not a little bit under the normal, 0.4 to 0.6, but still pretty comfortable. I can wrap my hand all the way around it. I wear a large size glove. I have what I would call like average size hands. No issues wrapping my hand all the way around it to get a full grip on it. So there you go. Let's go ahead and do size comparisons here. Cold steel knives, 80-10. That gives you an idea of the overall length of it, right? Definitely a good size knife for sure. And the Demco knives, 80-20.5. So definitely larger than the 20.5 by any means. Ontario Knives Rat Model 1, Ontario Knives Rat Model 2. Definitely closer to the Rat 1, with maybe just a touch more cutting edge. Just a little bit, not much. Alright, so we'll go ahead and compare to some of its Spyderco brothers here. Paramilitary 2, Spyderco Para 3. Right, so definitely closer to the Paramilitary 2, but a little bit larger than the Paramilitary 2. And I don't have a Delica, which I'd love to have a Delica at the same time as this one to kind of compare that with. Maybe I can fix that in the future, hopefully. But that is an Endella. That's my K390 Endella right there, put up next to it. So what you're looking at in the Delica, Endella, Endura family is essentially you're looking at Endura, Endella, Delica would be the next size down from that, right? So definitely definitely more cutting edge, more overall length, you know, than the Endura for sure, or than the the Endura. This is the Endura. So anyway, got all that out of the way. Let's go ahead and weigh this bad boy. See what we're looking at here with weight. Titanium handles are not milled out, and it's a back lock. Still feels fairly light though, thanks to the thinness of it, I believe. So I'm wanting to guess right around, man, I don't know, right around 4 ounces. There we go, 4 ounces. Yep, 4 ounces on the dot. That's crazy. So definitely you know, a little bit over the ounce and inch ratio, but for a titanium handled knife with such a long blade and cutting edge, you know, I would say it's a lot closer than a lot of other stuff that I've looked at on this channel for sure. Get out the old blue jeans here. See how it sits in the pocket. Now it's got the regular spoonbill, non-deep carry Spyderco pocket clip. So, you know, pretty much know what you're getting there. You can get various deep carry versions of this. Lynch Northwest makes some good ones. MXG Gear. Some other, a lot of other companies make aftermarket Spyderco clips. So you can definitely swap that out for a deeper, you know, carry clip. But that's what you're looking at. And it goes in and out just fine. You can do tip down, tip up, right or left-handed carry. So this thing is suitable for all those, which is pretty good and impressive, you know, especially for a titanium handled knife, I think. So we got all that out of the way. Let's take out the bits, see what we're dealing with here. These are closed on that side, bolstered, right? So captive pivot for sure. And I don't even have to check that out, but I will. Everything else is a T6. So T8 on the pivot, T6 on the body screws, T6 on the clip. That's a bummer that it's T6 on the clip and body screws, but it's also a good thing that it is closed off on this side, right? So all you'll need to take this thing apart would be a T6 bit and a T8 bit for the pivot. Now, typically with these, all you want to do is just, you know, you can adjust the pivot to, you know, kind of make it looser or more tight. I actually tighten it up a little bit there. If you'll notice, it wasn't as easy to reverse flick, which is always impressive whenever you got a back lock. Now, this one I've used a ton, and I still can't. I can give it some wrist and reverse flick it open, right? But this one kind of reverse flicks open with ease with a strong reverse flick. That's pretty cool, you know, especially for a back lock knife. Usually you see that on like a you know, more along like the lines of a compression lock, you know, with Spyderco. So that's all the specs out of the way. What you're looking at with handles is titanium steel pocket clip. The blade is a VG10 15 layered Damascus, and that is my understanding of it anyway. I could be wrong about this, but I'm pretty sure that that's what the DPS 15 means. DPS 15 VG10. So VG10 is a steel type. DPS 15, I believe, means that it's a 15 layered Damascus made out of VG10 on here. You can kind of see the line right there where you know the core, you know, and the layer on the outside, if the camera will focus on it. So that's pretty cool. Really beautiful looking Damascus pattern on this thing. You know, it looks really good, and it is razor sharp out of the factory. I can't speak to edge retention for this particular for Damascus layered VG10, but I can say that VG10 is a very corrosive resistant steel. But while that is true, it is not that great of a steel as far as edge retention. I have a VG10. Matter of fact, I can get it out here. Let's see if I can find this thing. Probably should have had it out already, but that's the VG10 Endura that I've got, you know, in the Warncliffe shape. But this one, I have sharpened this one a couple of different times for sure. You know, that VG10 doesn't really hold an edge too long. It is good to resist corrosion, but it will not hold an edge that great. You know, that's one thing that's kind of a downside. You know, especially whenever you look at the price of this thing, you're looking at $262.50 right now. If you look at it on Knife Center at this current point in time, as of me publishing this video, you know, may go up, may go down, but yeah, for $260, you know, you can definitely get a ton of better steels. You know, I mean, you got the Monterey Bay Knives Rosalinda that's jacketed ZDP 189. You know, for $230, and it comes with titanium handles, and it's a lot easier to manipulate. So, you know, no excuses there for Spyderco, even though they are my favorite company. They're definitely kind of slacking. I wish they'd do away with VG10 altogether, you know, and just swap over. Just go ahead and do the swap to the K390. You know, I love the K390. It is, that stuff will cut and cut and cut and cut and cut and cut without a problem. I love that stuff. And it's not as prone to corrosion as 15V. But yeah, this pattern does look nice. As far as ergonomic goes, you know, it'll be the same as your standard Endura, but in case you've never handled an Endura, you know, it handles pretty good. You know, it's really thin, the handle. You know, like I said, my fingers are touching right there, right? And that's not the case a lot of times. You know, like this is the Paramilitary 2. They're still touching, but it's not as thin in the handle as that one is. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. It's got that little hump on, not as big as a pair of 2 or pair of 3, but it's got that hump right there. Kind of gives you an edge on, you know, helping you lock in and stuff. Choke back, that's what I'm looking at. Still a little bit of handle there, right? And choked up, if you rest your finger right in that little slot, that little flat right there, you know, that is pretty locked in, and you still have a ton of room back here, right? So, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it, guys. This is a really good knife, really pretty knife for sure. Good collector's piece without a doubt. I would opt for the K390 version, and then just try to find maybe some aftermarket scales or something like that before I would go for the Damascus VG10, unless you're trying to collect them. You know, this is a great collection piece. It is a very beautiful knife, and I love the titanium handles on it, man. This is really nice looking. But that VG10 kind of, you know, was a turn off for me on this one. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That is the Spyderco Endura. I've probably called it every name in the book in the family series that it's in, but that is the Spyderco Endura, the largest of the Delica and Della Endura line. You know, I mean, you have the stretch, and then going down, you got the man bug, the dragonfly, the ladybug, all that stuff. But as far as those three, you know, this is the largest one of those three. And that's pretty much it. I appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate everyone subscribed to the channel. It means a lot to me. Yeah, you guys keep it going. I really appreciate it. If you know anything else about, or have, you know, any kind of intuition or knowledge on that DPS 15 VG10 Damascus that I don't, maybe I'm wrong. I might be totally wrong. If I missed that, please let me know down in the comments. That's what the comment section's for. I always welcome that. So yeah, that's pretty much it, you guys. Thanks for watching the video. Thanks for everyone that's Patreon member, subscribe to the channel, like the video. If you want to hear me ramble more, subscribe to the channel. I definitely do that a lot. And like the video. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay sharp.